6:46, and we are following breaking news this morning out of Pickens County. Authorities are on the scene near Easley. This is a live look at the area. So far, the sheriff's office has not said what the investigation involves. We're working to learn more, and we'll bring you updates as the story develops. This morning, a driver accused in a deadly hit and run is in custody. The crash happened on March 5th. 27-year-old Elijah Barthlow was hit and killed as he tried to cross South Pleasantburg Drive at Malden Road. Police say 32-year-old Shavius Jackson turned himself in yesterday. He's charged with hit and run resulting in death. The victim's family tells us Jackson is expected in court later this morning. Greenville County deputies say an investigation led to a large seizure of drugs, guns, and drug-related money. That includes 22 grams of meth and 5 pounds of marijuana. Deputies say all of this was found yesterday at a home on Norwood Street in Greenville. This morning, a fire is under investigation in Macon County, North Carolina. One person was found dead after the fire. The Macon County Fire Marshal says the fire broke out yesterday morning at a home on Ridge Circle in Otto. They say crews were able to put out the fire in about 15 minutes, but found one person dead inside. So far, the victim's name has not been released. Just into our newsroom this morning, police in Washington say they have arrested a man they say stalked and killed homeless people in New York City and Washington, D.C. Yesterday, authorities released these pictures of the suspect. Investigators say 2 people died in the attacks. New York City and Washington, D.C. authorities are also asking police up and down the East Coast to take a second look at some unsolved cases. At 6:48, a Florida judge has granted a request by Bob Saget's family to block the release of certain records related to his death investigation. The permanent injunction comes nearly a month after Saget's family filed a lawsuit to block the release of some records, citing privacy concerns. The 65-year-old actor and comedian was found dead in his Orlando hotel room in January. The medical examiner's office determined his death was accidental, most likely due to him falling backward and hitting his head. Well, there's still some confusion over a potential teacher pay increase. South Carolina lawmakers are deciding whether the proposal will go into effect. The proviso aims at raising the base pay from $36,000 to $40,000. Greenville County already surpasses that base pay, but the proviso was billed as a $4,000 pay increase for all teachers, no matter the district. Also, the proposed allotment for Greenville County falls short of fully funding the raise. Greenville County school leaders believe it was well intended, but say whoever drafted the plan did not consult with school finance experts.
We're very appreciative of what the state has given us, the money, and we just hate that the misconception was out there that all teachers are going to receive the $4,000 when it's just not possible for us to do that with the $19 million that they have now proposed for us.
They are meeting later tonight to talk about sending a letter to state lawmakers asking for a kind of input in the future. Meanwhile, some lawmakers and governor's office say Greenville and other districts have money to make up the difference. Some people in Central are worried they may soon be displaced. They just learned their neighborhood could be sold, and last night they called on their town leaders to help them out. Kylie Jones has the story.
The affordable housing crisis is really at the center of this. If the property is sold to a developer, dozens of people say they could very well be forced out of their homes and onto the street. Upstate residents are asking their town leaders for help to keep the dozens of people who live in what's known as the alley or head town in their homes.
They ain't gonna have anywhere to go. They're gonna have to get together with the prices these days and rent and everything. We'll have to move multiple families in one home.
Neighbors say they were informed the entire property could be sold. The concern, who it could be sold to.
So what I'm asking is for you to save this property by spending $1 million of the stimulus funds to buy the property.
A representative from Naturally Occurring Affordable Homes appealed to town council Monday night, asking the town to buy the property using CARES Act funding, then sell it to a developer of affordable housing.
Or you all make plans to have everyone placed, because no one can live in Clemson. No one can live in Pendleton practically, because I've been checking on these things. No one can go to Anderson nor Seneca because the rent exceeds what they make.
Residents say they understand the property could be sold, but they say they want to see it go to a developer who will work with the residents, not against.
A lot of these houses, they're old. They need to be built up. They need to be re-inhabited. They are going to go down to the point where they're not going to be livable anyway. And then when it gets to that part, we still get kicked out. So we need help in some kind of way.
WYFF News 4 reached out to the current property owner, but has not yet heard back. No decisions about the alley were made at Monday night's meeting. NOAA says it'll continue to push for the town to help make sure nobody is forced out of their home. In Central, Kylie Jones, WYFF News 4.
Well, Greenville County neighborhood is worried that proposed townhomes would create problems in their area. The proposed homes would sit right on Bruce Lake, which is in the Bruce Heights neighborhood off of Poinsett Highway. Neighbors say they're worried about the new development negatively impacting the water quality in the lake and worry it would have larger water impacts to the surrounding area. Yesterday, engineers presented the proposal to Greenville County Subdivision Advisory Committee.
Well, the concern that I have is that the plans changed. As you probably know, or maybe don't know, it started in 2006 was the first plan, and it was a fairly decent plan with less houses. Is you had single-family houses, had more of those. In fact, in this one, it has none. I think it would be more palatable to the neighborhood if the houses were similar to the ones that are there now.
Neighbors say they're also concerned about added traffic in the area. Bon Secours St. Francis is looking for your input. The hospital system does a community health needs assessment every 3 years. And it's a way to gauge what some of the major health and medical needs are, even looking at needs based on zip code. The assessment is designed to determine what some major barriers are and where access to certain care could be limited.
In our past CHNA, our community health implementation plan, 3 things rose to the top. One was behavioral health, the second was affordable housing, and the third one was obesity and chronic conditions.
Pastor Sean Dogan says they'll spend the rest of the year working to improve these issues. To find out how to participate in the assessment, head to WYFF4.com. At 6:53, pharmaceutical companies are facing increasing pressure to stop doing business in Russia. But Pfizer says it will continue to supply medicine to the country. Several health companies have said they have an ethical duty to keep supplying the Russian people with needed drugs and medical devices. Pfizer announced yesterday it will start donating the profits from its Russian subsidiary to support Ukraine. Pfizer added that it will stop new clinical trials in Russia and end some of its planned investments there. Meanwhile, Ukraine's president will address Congress later this week. President Volodymyr Zelensky will appear before members of the House and Senate virtually Wednesday. Zelensky gave a similar address to the British House of Commons last week.